Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back once again. Everyone must have traveled by train at least once in their life. But what if your train could never stop at any station because the moment it stops, everyone on board would die? Yes, today's story is exactly like that. We see a shiny train standing at a station in Japan. Its name is Hayabusa 16, and today is its very first run. That's why many school students have come to see it and travel on it. The train's chief conductor, Takachi, explains many things about the train to the students, like its top speed of 410 kilometers per hour, and that it is equipped with all kinds of security systems so it can even stick to its track during the rainy season. After that, Takachi meets his junior conductor Fuji, who tells him that both of them will be handling today's journey together. Slowly, all the passengers begin boarding the train, including some VIPs such as a Japanese parliament member and a famous writer. With everyone on board, the train starts picking up speed. Everyone is happy, when suddenly, a call comes into the control room from an unknown caller. The caller tells a female operator that he has planted a bomb on the Hayabusa train. If the train's speed goes below 100 kilometers per hour, it will explode. Hearing this, she immediately calls her senior, thinking it might be a fake call. But the caller clarifies that he has planted the same bomb on a freight train as well. If that train goes below 5 kilometers per hour, it will automatically explode. No one believes him at first. Still, to be safe, they call the station master and ask about the freight train. The station master says yes, it is about to apply brakes when suddenly the bomb explodes. Everyone in the control room hears the blast. Now they are convinced that the unknown man was telling the truth. Immediately, the locomotive pilot is alerted and told not to stop at the upcoming station, to turn off the automatic braking system, and most importantly, to keep the speed above 100 kilometers per hour. The pilot asks the reason, but for now, they don't tell her anything. When the police chief sees the video of the freight train explosion, he rushes in, gathers all the information, and instructs that the train speed should be kept at 120 kilometers per hour, because the bomb might explode due to vibrations. Before reaching the next station, the loco pilot is informed to maintain exactly 120 kilometers per hour. At that station, all other trains are cleared away, and people standing there are moved aside so the Hayabusa can pass without any problem. As for the passengers inside, they are lied to and told that they haven't received clearance to stop at the next station, so they will stop only after 2 more stations. People wonder briefly why this happened, but then things return to normal, since most passengers were anyway traveling straight to Tokyo. Back in the control room, the same unknown caller calls again. This time, the head himself answers the call to speak properly. The caller immediately states his demand, 100 million yuan. If the money is transferred, he will defuse the bomb. Otherwise, the train will keep running forever. At that moment, the Prime Minister's special advisor arrives. As soon as the PM heard the news about a bomb on a bullet train, he sent him immediately to resolve the situation quickly. Upon arrival, the advisor clearly states that they will not negotiate with the caller in any way. First, they must tell the truth to the loco pilot and the passengers. So the head informs the loco pilot, who makes an announcement. There is a bomb on the train, but there is no need to panic and everything will be resolved soon. But when it's a matter of one's own life, how can anyone stay calm? Chaos breaks out across the train. Everyone's phones start ringing as the news spreads like wildfire. People outside the train begin recording videos as it passes, thinking this might be the last time they see it. Tension keeps increasing as people start panicking, especially the students, who begin to feel anxious. Takachi calms everyone down and tells them to stay strong. Meanwhile, We see the same politician taking advantage of the situation by criticizing the opposition's failures, but people angrily curse him, saying that while everyone's life is in danger, he only cares about his seat. The story moves forward, and we see the Chief Secretary of Japan holding a press conference, stating that they will not negotiate with terrorists and will do everything possible to free their people as soon as they can. When the caller sees this, he becomes furious and calls them, asking why they didn't inform the public about the money demand. Before they can respond, the caller himself leaks the information online that he wants 100 million yuan, after which he will defuse the bomb. This news spreads extremely fast. The passengers become even more scared. Where will they get such a huge amount of money? Meanwhile, Kasaki, a manager, finds out that on the same line the Hayabusa is traveling on, a broken train is standing ahead, and another train is coming from the opposite direction. If the line isn't changed in time, the trains could collide, causing a terrible accident. Kasaki uses his quick thinking and tells the loco pilot to reduce speed to 105 kilometers per hour, and orders the oncoming train to increase speed to 310 kilometers per hour. When that still doesn't work, he asks her to reduce speed from 105 to 102 kilometers per hour. But in panic, the pilot lowers it to 101 kilometers per hour instead. Because of those few milliseconds, the two trains slightly collide. Thankfully, there isn't much damage and the line change succeeds. But the jolt is very strong, causing passengers' belongings to scatter everywhere. During this, the writer tries to take advantage of the situation. He creates a website and asks people to donate money so they can pay the caller and get the bomb defused. His video goes viral very quickly. People on board start donating money and uploading videos to social media, causing massive chaos. But it wasn't just one bomb, every coach had one. Once the coaches were detached, a rescue train was dispatched from the station to transfer all the passengers. While this seemed simple in theory, executing it was extremely difficult. The rescue train arrived behind the Hayabusa, and workers created a platform between the two trains to move passengers one by one. Among them were the politician and the writer. Meanwhile, some boys appeared on the rescue train, badly injured by the same man they had previously attacked. The man insisted on staying on the bomb-laden train. Then the teacher realized that one of their students was still on the train. So the writer, the politician, and the teacher returned to the bomb train to rescue everyone, especially the man, whom the politician wanted to help because he was going through a rough time. Suddenly, something strange happens. The train's speed begins to drop, and the emergency brakes activate. The loco pilot sweats profusely as the train slows, and the rescue train collides with it, severely injuring Fuji. The control room staff are baffled and cannot understand what has just happened. A second rescue mission is now impossible. Time is extremely short, as the train cannot stop at Tokyo Station, meaning they must act quickly. Meanwhile, Suzuki, a schoolgirl on the train, goes outside to talk to her father. He was a veteran soldier who had killed the terrorists back in 1975 and was highly respected. Suzuki explains the current situation, and her father speculates that perhaps an associate of the old terrorist planted the bomb on her train for revenge. But Suzuki doesn't believe that. Here comes the real twist of the story. Suzuki reveals to her father that she herself planted the bomb. Shocked, her father stands up, saying he is tired of her lies. The terrorist back in 1975 was killed by him, not by her, yet she had been living with lies her entire childhood. Suzuki tells her father that now he will face the consequences, and immediately, an explosion occurs at her father's house, killing him. In other words, Suzuki killed her own father. She then publicly reveals the truth and calls the control room from the same phone line the anonymous caller had used, proving that Suzuki was the caller all along. She explains that if they want to defuse the bomb, someone present must sacrifice themselves because she has a monitor in her heart due to her medical condition. Once the heartbeat stops, everything will be safe. She hangs up, and the staff learn about the explosion at her father's house, confirming her story. They consult her doctor, who confirms her medical condition, and realize that what she did could not have been possible without help from others. Suzuki quietly sits aside on the train, and the school teacher asks why she did all this. She replies that she is tired of people's lies and false faces. Even her father had lied to her for years. She wants to reveal everyone's true nature, which is slowly becoming apparent. The government had not allowed the train to continue past a certain point, meaning the train can only go a short distance from Tokyo Station. The situation is now extremely precarious, and only a miracle could save them. Investigation officers check Suzuki's Instagram and see depressing posts, proving she was deeply troubled. Over the years, she had been talking to someone who taught her how to make bombs, the son of the 1975 terrorist. He reveals the locations of all bombs and identifies 2 coaches without bombs. Takachi gets an idea. If they manually switch the tracks and detach those 2 coaches, they can save the rest of the passengers. They need the Prime Minister's approval due to the extreme danger. The PM first asks the passengers if they agree, and they give consent. The critical track segment is highlighted, as everything will happen within seconds. The train is put on autopilot, and when it reaches the designated track, the line is switched. The rear coaches are slowed and detached. The front coaches continue forward, triggering explosions, but ultimately the coaches survive and stop safely. Rescue teams rush in, while the control room is silent, unsure if anyone survived. Finally, they see that all passengers are alive, causing waves of relief. Fuji is taken to the hospital, and the chief asks Suzuki if she regrets anything. She responds that the world is cruel and selfish, and no one deserves to live. He then shows her the 100 million yuan donations from people around the world, emphasizing that everyone is human, but perspectives differ. She could have fixed everything, but she chose the wrong path. Her actions endangered lives, but the rest of the passengers were innocent.